Jose Silva was born on August 11, 1914, in Laredo, Texas. His father died when he was 4 years old. His mother soon remarried, and Jose, his older sister, and his younger brother went to live with their grandmother. 2 years later, Jose became the breadwinner of the family. He sold newspapers, worked as a shoeshine boy, and did various odd jobs. In the evenings, he watched his sister and brother do their homework, and they helped him learn to read and write. Jose never went to school for any other purpose than teaching. Jose's rise from poverty began one day while he was waiting for his turn at the barber shop. To pass the time, he picked up something to read, which turned out to be a correspondence course brochure on radio repair. Jose asked to borrow the brochure, but the barber agreed only to lend it to him on the condition that Jose would take the exams in his name. For 2 weeks, Jose earned $1, read the lessons, and took the exams. Soon, the barber's diploma was hanging on the wall, and Jose, at 15, began repairing radios all over the city. Over time, his repair business became one of the largest in the area, allowing him to pay for his brother and sister's education, get married, and eventually save about $500,000 to fund a 20-year study that led to the development of the mind control method. Another person with diplomas, earned more honestly than the barbers, inadvertently pushed Jose toward this study. This was a psychiatrist responsible for interviewing men drafted into the Signal Corps during World War II. "Do you wet the bed?" Jose was stunned by the question. "Do you like women?" Jose, the father of 3 children and destined to become the father of 10, was simply frightened. Surely, he thought, this man knows more about the human mind than the barber knows about radios. But why ask such silly questions? This moment of bewilderment prompted Jose to embark on a scientific research odyssey that made him, without scientific diplomas or certifications, one of the most outstanding researchers of his time. At the early stages, Freud, Jung, and Adler, through their published works, became his first teachers. The silly questions gained deep meaning, and soon Jose was ready to ask his own question. Is it possible to improve a person's learning ability using hypnosis, actually raise their IQ? At that time, it was believed that we all have a certain IQ by nature, but Jose doubted this. The search for an answer had to wait, while Jose completed a modern electronics course to become a Signal Corps instructor. When his army service ended, all his savings were gone, and with just $200 in his pocket, he began to slowly rebuild his business. At the same time, he started teaching part-time at junior college in Laredo, overseeing 3 other teachers and creating school electronics labs. 5 years later, when television emerged, Jose's repair business flourished, and he left his teaching career. His business again became the largest in the city. Every workday, Jose finished around 9 in the evening. He would have dinner, help put the children to bed, and only when the house was quiet did he have about 3 hours to study. In his studies, he delved deeply into the phenomenon of hypnosis. What he learned about hypnosis, combined with his knowledge of electronics and his children's low school grades, brought him back to the question he had asked earlier. Can a person's learning ability and IQ be increased through some method of brain training? By this time, Jose knew that the brain generates electricity. He had read about experiments that discovered the alpha rhythm at the dawn of the current century. And thanks to his electronics education, he knew that the ideal electrical circuit has the least resistance or impedance, because this is when electrical energy is used most efficiently. Could the brain also work more efficiently if its impedance was reduced? And could its impedance be reduced? Jose began using hypnosis to calm his children's minds and discovered what many would consider a paradox. The brain is more energetic when it is in a less active state. At lower rhythm frequencies, the brain received and absorbed more information. The main problem remained how to keep the brain awake at such frequencies, which are more associated with drowsiness and sleep than practical activity. Hypnosis provided the receptiveness Jose was seeking, but did not give the degree of independent thinking that leads to understanding phenomena. Having a head full of memorized facts is not enough. It is necessary to add the ability to penetrate the essence of things and understand them. Soon, Jose abandoned hypnosis and began experimenting with brain training exercises that allowed him to relieve mental tension while keeping his mind more active than it was under hypnosis. He reasoned that this would improve memory along with comprehension abilities, thereby increasing IQ. The exercises that formed the basis of the mind control method involved relaxation and concentration, as well as stimulating imagination as a way to reach deeper levels of consciousness. When Jose managed to achieve this, it became clear that these states were more effective for learning than the beta state. His children's grades improved dramatically and continued to rise over 3 years as Jose refined his techniques. This was Jose's first significant discovery, which was repeatedly confirmed by other studies, mainly in biofeedback. He was the first person to prove that our brain can remain conscious at alpha and theta frequencies. Another more startling discovery was yet to come. One evening, Jose's daughter entered her state, to use the modern terminology of the mind control method, and Jose asked her about her school progress. While she was answering one question, he was formulating the next one in his mind. This was a routine procedure and was no different from hundreds of previous sessions. Then, quite suddenly and unexpectedly, the usual order was disrupted. His daughter answered a question he had not yet spoken aloud, then another one and another. She was reading his thoughts. This happened in 1953 when extrasensory perception, ESP, was becoming a subject of scientific research, mainly thanks to the published works of Dr. J.B. Rhine from Duke University. Jose wrote a letter to Dr. Rhine, informing him that he had taught his daughter to practice ESP. The response was completely disappointing. Dr. Rhine hinted from the start that the girl likely had some psychological deviations. Without pre-training testing, nothing could be proven. Meanwhile, all of Jose's neighbors noticed that his children's academic performance had improved remarkably. Initially, they were very suspicious of his attempts to explore the unknown, especially areas that might be protected by dangerous forces best left alone. However, the success he achieved with his children was undeniable. Would Jose be willing to work with their children too? After Dr. Rhine's letter, this was exactly what Jose needed. If he could replicate his success with other children, it would provide the necessary series of repeatable experiments, which is the foundation of any scientific method. Over the next 10 years, Jose worked with 39 children from various families in Laredo and achieved even more impressive results, perfecting his method with each child. This was his second remarkable achievement. He developed the first method in history by which any person could be taught to use ESP, with 39 replicable experiments as proof. The next step was to refine the method. Over the next 3 years, Jose developed a training course that is a model today. It takes only 40 to 48 hours and is effective for both adults and children. To date, it has been confirmed by more than 500,000 experiments with a level of repeatability that no reasonable scientist can ignore. All these years of research were funded by Jose Silva's growing electronics business. Neither universities, foundations, nor the government issued grants for such far-reaching research. Today, organizing mind control method courses is a thriving family business, with profits largely directed towards further research, support, and course expansion. There are mind control method centers in all 50 US states and 34 foreign countries. Despite all this success, Jose Silva did not become a celebrity, a guru, or a spiritual leader with followers and disciples. He is an ordinary person, simple in communication, speaking with a soft, almost imperceptible Mexican accent. He is a sturdy man with a kind face, often smiling. Anyone who asks what success means to Jose will be overwhelmed with stories of his method's success. Here are a few examples. A woman wrote to the Boston Herald-American, pleading for help for her husband who suffered from migraines. The newspaper published her letter, followed the next day by another letter from someone else suffering from the same condition. A female doctor wrote to the newspaper stating that she had also suffered from migraines all her life. But after taking the mind control course, the headaches never returned. And believe it or not, the hall where the next introductory lecture on the method was held was packed, filled to capacity. Another doctor, a well-known psychiatrist, recommended the mind control course to all his patients because it created the necessary mental attitudes that in some cases would require up to 2 years of psychotherapy. A whole marketing company as a joint business was created by course graduates who applied the skills gained from the mind control method to create new products and develop ways to bring them to market. By the 3rd year, the company had already launched several new products. An advertising specialist used to take up to 2 months to develop an ad campaign for new clients, which was the average time for such work in this business. But after taking the mind control courses, the main ideas for the campaign now come to mind within 20 minutes, and the rest of the work is done within 2 weeks. 14 players from the Chicago White Sox team took the mind control method course. Their individual performance improved, for some quite significantly. The husband of a woman who struggled with excess weight suggested she try the mind control courses since all diets had failed. She agreed on the condition that her husband would attend too. The wife lost 20 pounds in 6 weeks, and the husband quit smoking. A professor at a college of pharmacology taught his students the mind control technique. Their grades improved in all subjects with less effort in studying. They became more relaxed. Perhaps everyone knows how to use their imagination. I just make the students practice it more. I showed them that imagination has real power, that there is a special form of reality in imagination that they can use. And although Jose smiles easily when he hears a phrase like, "Jose, you changed my life," his smile fades a bit, and he responds seriously, "No, it wasn't me. You did it with your own brain." Jose Silva passed away in February 7th, 1999, but his mind control techniques continue to thrive. In our upcoming videos, we'll explore some of these methods in detail. Please subscribe, like, and share your thoughts in the comments section below. Thanks for watching.